Dun 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 dun. What's up, YouTubes? Hey, people out there. So, I gotta let people know more about the base design and let them understand about the different pieces of the base design and what happens and what can be done with it. Alright. Now, if you have a level Town Hall 20 like I do here, you can use the Icebreaker version 2. Now, for P and for O, I would use this setup with the Town Hall on the inside. If you're going to go for higher level versions of this, go for Q, R, S, T. I'll put it on the outside. So that's my thought here. Now, for those that wonder, there is a wall missing down here. Make sure that if you have anything, if you put this over here, the potential for them to attack here when spawning on this side opens up. They can then attack this wall. So be wary of that. When trimming walls, unfortunately, trimming anything from that back side will create that kind of problem. With the spacing I have set up, the reason why they will attack that is because the length of the distance that they have to go in, because we have this wall right here. If this wall is removed, then you can remove pieces from here. So this is, if you want to make modifications to the base, you gotta know the downsides and the upsides of it. So here's some modifications to be concerned of. If you remove a chunk of wall from here, they will attack over here. Now, let's get to the inner parts of the base. This is going to be a little bit something. So you got to make sure with the wall buildings that the placement is basically right here. And this is where the last wall piece goes here. And you can't trim any more than this because they will attack through. For anything that spawns down here will attack through. So keep that in mind with that. Now, if you want to, you can place the Town Hall out over here. And if they attack here, they'll actually just do lightning procs out here to this and not aggro out here to the Town Hall. So you can place the Town Hall out here for those higher levels of HBM. And you won't have to worry about lightning procs, because they'll come in here, they'll kill, even if they kill something right here, it's still a shorter distance to this than it is to here. So you can even move a little further back and less of the likelihood of them to aggro over here. So they could be la 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 and attack and kill everything, blah 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 blah, and this will still be up. The only time that this will go down is if you have a spawn from back here. Now, this is some different thoughts for Town Hall placement. You can place it back here for those higher levels of HBM, or you can place it over here somewhere. There is two different schools of thought for that. Over here, you're protected if anything spawns over here, anything spawns over here, anything spawns over here. You have so much more protection being here, but is still a roll of the dice, as it were. You can also fill up your bases with little guys. Little guys are actually still useful on the highest levels of HBM monsters. I would not suggest little guys for P or O. Definitely not good for those. Definitely not good for those. Even Q and R, I really wouldn't suggest for those either. I would suggest maybe for S to put them in here, for S or for T. S or T. Because you're dealing with the Thunder God then, and the Thunder God procs can sometimes then proc on the little guys. So think about that when using this for higher level HBMs. This base is mainly designed for HBM O+, anything O beyond, because it gives you more time to attack the boss, the ground-based boss if you're facing S and lower, or the dragon. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do. Dragon's dragon. Dragon will fly wherever the heck dragon wants to fly. So this is mainly for that kind of concept. So you're really doing this for the high-end HBMs. You can use it for lower, that's fine. And you can use it for 4 manning, for 3 manning, for 2 manning, for singling it out and doing for some HBM craziness. It is good for that as well. But when building this, do pay attention that I purposely and mindfully actually leave a gap here. That there is a gap here for bombs, where I place the 4 bombs, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. And what is good about this is it then purposely segments the heroes that are attacking you into 2 groups. So there's going to be a first group that's attacking. Let's say we're doing this setup for S or for T. For S or for T, I would put the Manivolt inside the base still. Now, there's 2 lines of thoughts. You can try this 2 different ways, depending upon what your strong suit is. If you really got really good burst damage, you can have this out further and just allow this to die. You want this to be like a target for stuff that's coming off of here. So I would actually, because right now I've been futzing with stuff. Let me show you. I would move this over here. I play with, this is the setup that I use for foremanning. When I had it over there by itself, that's the setup that I use for foremanning. This is going to be something I would use if you're going to be doing for S or T, where you're not foremanning. You have all your heroes in play and you are going all out in DPS. Okay, this is for the people that are going to be doing attempts of this on higher levels of HBM. Think R, S, and T. You might want to look at this kind of setup. All right, let's play around with this a little bit more and give you some instructions on stuff. It's for people that would like to try me. It's the higher levels, as one would say. So let's no, we don't. Not looking for that. Grr. Zoom in. Not used to BlueStacks anymore. So you can throw your little town hall in a corner and put it. I believe, yeah, the corner should still be fine. I think if you diamond it, make basically a diamond out of it, should be right there. Looks to be right. Basically, this is more of a setup that I would use. Now, you purposely, if they're spawning over here, they're going to attack your buildings. They're going to attack your buildings. They're going to attack your buildings, and then be funneled to the center. Now, if you have this building up front, they will want to attack this. They will be then attacking this. And attacking this, then any heroes here, any flying heroes will come across the border and get the aggro of your hero here. And all the rest of the heroes will have to zigzag their butts in. Now, some of the heroes then will break off when this building falls and go to this. And that should be fine, because at that point where this building falls, usually you wouldn't want this up front. You'd hopefully have this. Let me switch things around and make them more appropriate. Okay, so you'd have this up front, and they would be attacking this, and then this would go down, and then they would go to here. And that's fine. That is perfectly fine. They destroy this building, they destroy this building. That's actually good for us. They did work for us. Losing buildings on the outside is not bad, because it leaves your buildings on the inside intact, and it makes them have to go such a long distance to get to your heroes. So you're not going to shed a tear if you lose some buildings. It's good. It's actually good. And it's what it's sort of designed for. You're trying to time it right. So you also got to look at your heroes and see if you're doing where your damage is. So if your damage is extremely high, great. If their damage for the HBM monsters, because you can see my buildings are not max level. I purposely don't have them max level because they get more procs on you if you have them at max level. So Thunder God will proc on you more, Cupid will proc on you more, Reaper will proc on you more. I purposely have them at lower levels. And this is, I have basically gauged exactly how long it takes for them to get through this and how many procs they're going to have, so it doesn't destroy the town hall, that the town hall is kept up, or that these guys are up and alive by the time that they get there. So Thunder God's strikes all hit on the outside and leave me alone. So the inner base is left alone and is up and standing. Now, the bombs on the inside matter for anything that gets in is actually then going for this base. You can see that these two outer bases, the way that they're set up, they're going to focus on this and this. They're going to segment into two groups. So they're going to, and sometimes three groups, okay? Which actually really works to your advantage. Really works to your advantage. Because if they're targeting this building and this building and this building, they will not kill the buildings. They will actually do a little bit of damage, and your heroes will get to them in time and kill them off. Yay! So think about that when setting this up. Also, you can move it in. If you move this in and have that there, that's the alternate version of this, where you can then have them target these two first, and then these two will most likely die, which is fine. We're okay with buildings dying. They're segmented between these two. The vast majority of them will be targeting this. A few will target this. That's fine. And those few that target that are going to die. And if they kill this building, all the better, because then this is going to be your target. This is going to be left over. And yay, all good for you. Now, the good thing about this base is the back. This protects you from spawns in the back that would normally make you cry. Even double spawns, it will protect you for a little bit. You'll have a little bit of, oh, I might live kind of feeling. And then you get more time. So each time that there's a bad spawn in back, it's not really that bad. It's really not. Now, remember with this, there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 here. And just count them here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is required there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on that side as well. Once again, if you move that over here, they're going to attack here. They're going to kill this wall. It's just how it is. I've learned through testing. Now, on the side here, these bumpers are here for a reason. If you get a spawn that happens on this, let's take a wall from over here. If you get a spawn that happens over here, they will bump up against this. That's what I call a bumper, and go in and then take longer to get into the base. And if they are targeting this, it'll actually take longer for them to target that. So it gives you more leeway time. And that's why that's there. Also, this makes them hug the base more, which gives your heroes more time to attack them due to the bubble spacing. So think about that, and lots would be helpful for you. For those that are wanting to try this at the high levels. This is for people that are trying it at the high levels. As well, the wall placement is much needed. So basically, you can't veer too much from the design on the back unless you are removing this bit right here. If you remove this piece, you can play around with the back and trim a whole bunch of pieces off. But if you don't trim this piece off, they will attack the wall there. So if you want to mess around with the back a bit more, you have to make the tunnel shorter by removing this piece. If you add anything to this wall, like let's say if you put a piece right here, if you put this piece right here, it's extending the zigzag, and extending the zigzag, they will then attack over here. They'll break through here. You cannot add to this wall without creating problems. They will attack there. Unless you add more pieces to the wall here. If you add more pieces to the wall here, you can then extend the zigzag. So, just realize that if you play with the zigzag, the zigzag will play with you. You gotta, I built it in a particular way that this is the most that I can squeeze out of that tunnel without compromising things. So if you want to cut down on the zigzag, you can then get more walls to play with. Yeah, so let's say if you wanted to extend this little endeavor here, if you wanted to make it grow out a little bit more and wrap around a bit more, you could do that, but then you would have to sacrifice some walls from here and shorten the zigzag. This does make them have to walk a great additional more distance. That's 1, 2, 3, before, when they'd just be wrapping right around that. They have to walk a good chunk more because of that. So that zigzag helps out quite a bit. If you're playing with the zigzag, do realize the limitations of playing with the zigzag. All right, got that out of the way. All right, so back for the innards of the base. If you move this in, let's say if you move this in, you got to understand the problems that are brought about from moving that in. Just moving it in doesn't make things magically change. If you do this, you can see that we built this to purposely aggro there, but it's not going to aggro there anymore. It's now going to aggro here. Aggroing here will have problems. Aggroing here, they can attack sooner. They can attack right here. The flyers will come across, the melee would run through, they're going to attack there, and they're going to attack there much sooner. Versus attacking here, they would have to take a lot longer trip. Or if you have this out there, alternatively, that's even further for any melee to have to go in to attack. So you want to separate your melee and you want to separate your flying. So the flying will go out one direction and the melee will go in the other direction. You don't want the flyers and melee to get the advantage. That's what we're not looking for. You want them to die at the appropriate time. So the reason why you have a building with a good chunk of hit points here is this is where the flyers are going to attack. Over here is where these buildings over here are where the melee are going to attack. So when thinking about this, you could put this here and you can shrinking it in a bit. And if you do so, you'll get a bit of an advantage there. Like I said, you'll then, the first wave, they'll target here and here, which, you know, is okay. Or the alternate version is having it here, and they'll target here, here, and here, which then really segments what they're attacking. For the most part, you're going to have about 50% attacking here, 50 to 40% attacking here, 50 to 40% attacking here, and about 10% or less attacking this. That's if you have this particular setup and you're going for the exact distance. So you got to make sure your distances are exact on this. Every little detail matters here. So you can't go much further than, so you can, let me remove a piece here. So you count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is the start of the building for here. If you were starting from the exact edge, you would come to the same point here. And the reason why you're doing this is about hero movements. Hero movement and how they move across the board. This placement of this stuff is on purpose. It's purposeful. It serves a point to funnel them into mid. We want them to attack mid. Mid is the spot of dreams. We want them to attack there. It's so good if they attack there. That's our perfect spot. We do not want them to attack these. We would prefer these to be attacked dead last. Why? Thunder God procs. Love it to go there. But, like I said, you don't have to have this there. You can move this over to here and put some of the buildings from over here to over there. And you're doing that to mitigate risk also from having a no man's land incident. Say if you got a paladin that was able to survive your Santa's like ultimate destruction ability, that then that paladin wouldn't have as many buildings to go through and you would still get the victory. I timed it out that as long as 2 buildings pretty much went down before the Santa proc, you get the win still. Santa can take his lovely time going through all these, and that's of course only if you didn't build past 16 on those. And that's factoring it in with level 16 buildings out there. There can be still lots of 20s out there. You can see they're 20, 20, 20, 20. But you want the gold mines and the mana mills to be like 16. But if they were higher level, then you got to factor some more over here. Okay? for your no man lands incidents. But the more you factor in over here, the more likely you're going to draw something from over here to over here. You really want to be careful and not pull anything off of here. And the distance from here to here is so great that they'll always attack over here. And that's the way I set that up, to make sure that they attack over here. Even when they finish this round over here, they won't go over here. I planned that out on purpose. I did it on purpose. It was purposeful. Okay, same thing goes on this side. Same concept going there. That the amount of destruction that it would take for a paladin to get through, it's perfectly timed out there. So keep those in mind when you're doing that. And then for the inner side, like I said, I usually like putting my hero traps here. Now you can have the base here, or you can have the base here. That is your choice. If you have the base here, you're protecting yourself from future waves. If you have the base out here, you're protecting yourself on the first wave. Now, having it here or here depends upon how you're doing on that first wave. If you're dying on that first wave a lot, you're probably going to want it out here. If you're not dying on that first wave a lot, you can suck it back in. Tuck it back in. Turtle that sucker and put it back in. The reason why it's a split, like I said, if you're doing enough damage on that first wave that the base is here, you don't die. Or if you need it out, then you need it out. Just that base will go down and you won't have that protection for later. But that's fine. That's fine. As long as your heroes are good for doing damage later, you're fine. You're fine. So, what we're talking about here is the structure. So, the structure, the internal core. Now, there's other things that you can do. Say if you're having problems and you want to tweak it a little bit more, you can. There are additional things you can do. Say if you're having problems and you need a little bit more of a boost on that first wave. Okay. This is what you can do. If that first wave give you some problems, suck this in a little bit more. Bring these in. This then gives you a larger gap here on the outer edge. And by doing that, you still got all the bombs on the inside, and that gives them so much longer time to get to the innards of your base. So that really then gives you a lot of time to goof around. Now, this is only if you're having problems on wave T1 or T2 or S1 and S2 would you do this. This setup is to help with the initial waves, not with the final waves, because you're going to lose these buildings. These buildings will go down faster, but you'll have a better chance of surviving those initial waves. So there's different ways of tweaking the base and moving stuff around to get it to work to your advantage. So that's one way. So if you feel like this edge is being too difficult for you, the way to adjust for that edge is to move the buildings, suck them in, and there you go. Now usually I place the bombs back here. These are just the regular bombs. And I do suggest putting the regular bombs out there. Regular bombs are awesome. They suck to put out there, but they really do help. Because those little suckers take up additional hits for your heroes that you could then be spending on things that really matter. So they really do help. And putting the bombs there and putting that bomb back there really does help. It really does help. So I do suggest not tucking these inner bases in and keeping them out. Now this could be tucked in only if you're in the secondary position. If you're doing good on the initial waves and they're not a problem for you, I would suggest pulling this back and pulling that in. So that's sort of the structure there and things that you can do to modify the innards of the base, some design changes that you can make if you like. So if you can see, you can move that there, move that there, Move that there, and move that there, and move that there. And then you've changed the innards of the base. And in doing so, you have created more of a bumper situation for the outside. So the first two waves become much easier. If that's where you're having problems on, this will probably help you. Give her a try, see what you think. So for those that would like to know more modifications that you can do, I do suggest actually doing this little wrapping of these buildings on the outside. It does create more of an obstacle for the heroes that are attacking you, and obstacles are awesome. It adds more time and separates the heroes. I know it sucks building it. I agree. I don't like setting up things. It takes time, and time is energy, and energy blah. I agree. But it does create more of a zigzag, and zigzags make them take forever. So these corner spawns that happen over here, you get so much additional time on it that it's like cheating. It's awesome. So yeah, that's why I do this little maze of crud out here on purpose, because it's actually useful. It then forces them to go in the direction that you want, and so it works. What else? Anything else? So these bumpers, like I said, really helpful for anything that spawns on the side there, makes them have to go in further. Now, it makes them even have to go in a lot further because say if they were targeting this, now they have to go a long distance to get to this. When you have the base set up like this, in this particular configuration, they have to run even further. So for those that are out there, there's much more to this base. If you want to chat me up, for those that have more questions on what to do for the innards of the base, for the most part, you're not going to be moving the hero bases. The hero base placement is very important, and this back base is very important. You could put a tower back there. Not suggested. You can do it, but that's only if you're really not getting any back spawns, and that will then keep that tower alive for a really long time. But this protects you against most back spawns. And this protects you even more against most back spawns. So it gives you so much time on back spawns to survive what you normally wouldn't. Hopefully I've explained this in thorough enough detail. So you can see that I trimmed the corner from here, and that's because it's not needed. They will almost never ever attack there. And that's why I can create the bumper zigzag design like that. And this zigzag design, so anything that spawns from here, or no, from right about there, all the way down will always go through there. Anything over here will pretty much take a straight shot through on the back end and go through. So these are all intricate parts to know about the base when doing it. So for those that are going to be attempting this at the higher levels, do consider that stuff. Do consider it. Let's give it a try just for giggles. You guys want to see me do, I haven't done an S in a while. You guys want to see me do an S? I purposely just spent some gold to try an S. Dang it, I didn't fill it up with troops. Oopsie. I was a dumb person. I thought I was going to put some troops in here, but I didn't do it. Yep, there you go. Some troops. I believe it's the little guys. Maybe it's the big brothers I'm supposed to put in there. It's really late at night. It might be the big brothers that need to be in there. I can't remember. I shouldn't. Okay, that looks good to me. So let's just fill them up and let's give a try an S. I think it may be the bigger brothers I'm supposed to put in there. Oh well. If I failed this, whoopsie. That might have been my own fault. Once again, tired. Sorry guys. Some people had some questions about the base design and internals of it, what can be moved around and what can be done to the outside bases, and what happens if you move certain stuff around. And I figure a lot of people are going to have that question, so I'm answering it in a long form video for you guys. So Here we go. Here we go. Let's boost those guys. You can be built. You can be built too. Done and done. We got all our bombs out. I do not have the best heroes though. I shouldn't be attempting S. I am far away from my heroes. Are like most of them are 7 of 9. So usually for S and T, you would like 9 of 9 heroes. It's really important to have high DPS for doing S or T. I'm just doing this for lulz. I'm probably not going to beat it. I'm just going to try and show some hero pathing and things you got to think about. I might get a bad spawn and get the spawn down here and get them to attack this right away. And if that happens, so that's sort of the risk of having it here or here. If you have it here, you're better protected and it stays up longer, but tends to go down more often. If you have it here, oh, you have the chance of like it being awesome. You have the chance of just it just if they don't spawn down here on the first wave, you're looking good. But let's see what we can do. Let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. Little P. No. S. Done. So that was the spawn that we did not want. So, whoopsie. Oh well, it happens. But hopefully there's that Thunderstrike that we were saying we don't want. God, I hate Thunder God. Okay, he hit over there this time. We can survive maybe one more strike of Thunder God. I don't know. That Thunder God is annoying. Oh, that hurts a lot. But here comes Santa. Here comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa Claus. Right down Santa Claus Lane. We did get bad luck with that first spawn, which did do lots of damage to us. That Thunder God is ridiculously overpowered, but it happens. So, yeah. Thunder God does suck. We knew that I was going to probably have some problems there with S. But that's fine. So, Thunder God grr. I told you if Thunder God spawned down there, it'd be a bad thing. And it did. Grr. So, you can have this over here. And Thunder God will strike less on your hero, which is good. You don't like Thunder Strikes hitting your hero. Or you could have it here. If you're playing it here, you're playing the odds. You're rolling the dice. Thunder God will be there. Thunder God will not be there. Thunder God will be there. You know, you're hoping that Thunder God doesn't spawn here. But playing on S or T, you're trying to hope for the best odds. That was unfortunately the worst spawn that we could get, and it did. Yay! Oh well. Thunder God strikes are evil. That's fine. But I just wanted to show you guys off the base design and some tweaks and stuff that you can make to it. I will be starting to do some higher levels on this and showing you guys a bit more of S attempts. And I know that I'm probably not going to get an S kill until I am high enough. Until I got my heroes a bit higher. Right now, they need to be leveled up. I got too many at 7 of 9. Too many at 7 of 9. 7 of 9 is not where we need to be. 7 of 9. We really need our heroes to be higher. Much, much higher. Oh well. We'll get there. We'll get there. But for those that want to make modifications to the base, this is some of the things that you could do. Hopefully I showed you some of the tweaks that you can do to then modify where heroes are targeting your base to the inner parts, or to purposely force them to a corner attack, or how to save your base up longer. So you could save up your base a little bit longer by moving stuff like this and putting it in, or you can have it on the out, or you can have it on the out and tucked. So this is the outer edge and tucked. I would not though move the bases to the inside. I would not like I said, I wouldn't put the base there, because then you're forcing them to attack that corner. You're doing this gap on purpose. It's a purposeful gap. You want it to be there for a particular reason, and that particular reason is these bases will go down, and that's fine for them to go down as long as your heroes survived all the lightning strikes from Thunder God. Thunder God is ridiculously overpowered. La 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 la. But everyone who has done S or T already knows this. Anyone who has attempted S or T knows that Thunder God is a prick at the higher levels. He is evil. He is not nice. Also, Atlanticor is not nice at the higher levels. This is why you want your damage to be as high as possible. And I need to get mine up. I know my damage is a little bit lower right now. I need them to get up. I need 9 of 9 heroes. 9 of 9 is almost a must-have for S or T. So, yeah. 9 of 9. Get the 9 of 9. I will, eventually. Give me some time. Give me some time. We'll have it. So, hopefully this was enlightening for those that need to know more about the base design. Spots where you can trim walls, how you could trim walls. Like I said, you could remove this, and then you can trim walls from on the back end, and you can trim walls from this little bit here. That's only if you remove that bit right there. If you don't remove that bit, they will attack. This bumper is useful if anything spawns over there, everything spawns out here to go through there. If you don't use the bumper, you could move stuff around, but do not, like I said, do not put anything there. And because that will extend the zigzag and extend that, and they will attack there. So if you extend this, you have to extend here. Lulls. Okay. Hopefully I've blabbed on enough and given a good chunk of instructions and helped with talking about movements of little things like even flower placement and junk in the way placement to make things zigzag longer. Everything helps. Every little bit helps. Even stacking army camps with little guys. Anything to absorb thunder strikes or anything to absorb anything that's sucky like that, that helps. Every little bit helps. Now, remember, you can have the inner or you could have the outer based upon if you're surviving the first waves. If you're surviving the first waves, you can have it on the inner. If you're not surviving the first waves, have it on the outer. You could then have the outer slash moved over, or you could have the outer slashed moved out. That is your choice. There's different things you could do with the inside of the base, and it is up to you to make these decisions. I would pretty much leave the bombs where they are. I would not move the bombs anywhere here because this base is likely to be gone. If this base is gone, these bombs are never going to explode. So that's some blah 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 blahs, and ta-da. You can put these bombs over here in the pathway to make it better chance of surviving the first wave. If you're really doing horrible on the first wave and doing this didn't help you, you can then with this take the bombs and put them in here to make that first wave be much easier to beat. So there's the different things that you can do to try and make the first wave of HBM S being easier to beat. But even if you do all those things, randomness of S and T are extremely random. Random is random of random. There's so many things that can go wrong. But I just wanted to show you guys a little bit, and hopefully this is helpful for those that need to know more that you can do with this base to modify it to your particular needs. If you are having problems on Wave 1 or Wave 2, you might make some additional changes to get it to go. Or if you're doing really good at those first few waves, you can then make these modifications to it. If you're doing P, you can most likely have the town hall inside. If you're doing Q, you can probably have it on the inside too. It's a little risky, but R and higher, you're going to want the town hall on the outside. So hopefully that explains a little bit for the bases, placement, movement, blah, blah, blah. Lots of fun. Hopefully you guys have a good ones. Have a good ones, and have a good ones.